Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Welcome to Bwaaa.
Bwaaa, the boy ain't right.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty, and welcome to the Friday episode.
It is the Friday episode.
That ain't right.
A little bit different.
Yep, that ain't right.
We are not sponsored by, but have just eaten the limited time only Pringles Scorchin' First We Feast presents Hot Ones, the classic hot sauce chips.
Yeah, we were sitting here eating some of these. I had them in the car, so not only were they a little spicy, they were warm, but they were really good. Yeah,
they're not scorching though.
Nah, I wouldn't say they were scorching.
So, Rusty, I'm going to spring this on you today because Fridays are a little different.
As long as you're not falling it onto me, we're good.
I'm not. We are going to talk about minor characters in King of the Hill.
Okay.
So these are characters that reoccur every once in a while or one-offs.
Okay.
And I think this might be a series because there are a ton of them.
There's a ton of them. We could do a series. Well, let's do the first 10 in your list or however many you want to do. Just run down the list and we'll go through the list.
So here's the first one, John Redcorn.
Okay.
This is he is a reoccurring character. He only shows up every once in a while, but he does have a couple of episodes that he is featured in.
Yeah, there's
later in the series.
Well, specifically one of the episodes that I really remember is a little patch of land between the two highways.
Right.
And how Dale kind of jumps along with him on it, you know what I mean?
So here is everything we know about John Redcorn as Wikipedia says.
Okay.
John Redcorn, voiced by Victor Aaron in 1997.
That was the first voice of him, and then he passes away.
And Jonathan Joss.
From
1998 to 2009.
Yep.
John is Nancy's Native American former quote-unquote healer.
Yeah, he's a healer.
And adulterous lover. He is Joseph's biological father. He is a former roadie for Winger and a lead singer in Big Mountain Fudge Cake. In season 9, he began writing and performing his own children's music. He works out of a trailer as a masseur. Though his clients are generally only women, it is implied that he has a history of having sex with them, as Hank is horrified when Peggy goes to see him, and John Redcorn even states to him, "Hank, I consider you a friend. I would never heal your wife the way I heal the wives of others."
I always thought that was funny how he told Hank that. Yeah, why just Hank though? Why is it okay to sleep with everybody else's wife but not Hank's?
He is.
I don't think it has to do with his respect for Hank, but for the fact that
he does not give a shit about Dale. I can tell you that.
Peggy's humbleness.
Yeah, I don't think he likes her 12 feet either, or 14s or whatever. He is also active in American Indian rights campaigns, and Dale once helped him with a lawsuit that netted him 12 acres of land from the federal government. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, the little patch of highway.
Says, however, he was manipulated into building a casino on the property, which was later found out to be prohibited in Texas, whose tribes forfeit gaming rights for federal recognition, and his property was permitted for hazardous dumping to pay the debt. So because Dale had been so helpful, Redcorn felt extremely guilty over what he did with Nancy, and he ended his affair by encouraging Nancy and Dale to strengthen their marriage. Dale retailored Redcorn's status as a musician from a mediocre rock singer to a successful children's performer. He eventually got back together with an ex-lover and became a dedicated husband and father to the children he had had with her. So you want to talk about Redcorn for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about John Redcorn for a second. So I don't know.
I love the fact that there's always classic rock blaring in his Jeep.
Always classic rock blaring in his Jeep. I really like that. But I don't know, because it's a duality kind of thing. It's like the white man stole his land and disgraced his heritage. Right. So why not steal the white man's wife?
I guess that's what it is. I think that he's just
that's a fan thing that I read.
I think he's just a horny dude. I think
he's just a horny dude, and he's he's a musician, and he's got the long hair and the dark skin and the kind of mystery about him.
I love the fact that he was a roadie for Winger.
And the roadie for Winger, a licensed New Age healer. I kind of like him.
He would be selling CBD
kind of a hard character
right now, right?
Selling CBD.
Yeah.
I think he
would
have
a CBD store.
I think he would be selling fireworks.
That's
Arizona, New Mexico.
only during the fireworks times, though.
Well, unless you're in a state where they sell them 24/7.
Yeah, I don't know what state those are.
Arizona,
really?
Mexico,
24/7.
Well, I don't know.
They can always sell fireworks.
They can sell them all year round,
That's
as far as I know. Yeah, because they live in the desert. What is there to burn? There's nothing to burn, but
that's nuts.
Tumbleweed. Hey everybody, it's Rusty with the King of the Hill podcast, Bwaaa. So we are currently trying to win Podcast of the Year, and we're hoping that you guys could help us out by nominating us on Waco Awards website. If you Google Waco Awards Podcast of the Year, the hyperlink will pop up for you to click on Google's search. Also, on social media, I've posted about it quite a bit, so you guys can go to all of our social media platforms at Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and I have the link posted there on a few different posts, and help us at least get nominated. If we can't win, it would be great to at least have a nomination in our first year of podcasting, and we hope that you guys have enjoyed the content and continue to enjoy the content for the rest of the year.
Okay, next one. Ted and Cindy Wassonasong.
All the Wassonasongs.
Voiced by Toby Huss and Lauren Tom, respectively. Ted and Cindy are affluent Laotian American acquaintances of the Wassonasongs. Hey, you know what? They just opened a restaurant up by my house called Taste of Laos. And
I kind of want to try that now.
It is very, very good. My wife and I had some noodles and stuff from there. They have the best spring rolls I've ever had.
Oh, the best spring rolls. Okay.
Yeah. It's in a gas station. But it is super good. I really expected to see somebody like Khan come out of the back, but it was very nice people. It was very good food. Taste of Laos, if you're ever in Hewitt, Texas.
Taste of Laos.
So Khan and men envy and resent them, but go to great lengths to gain their favor, such as inviting them over for dinner. They live in the upscale gated community of Arlen Heights and are prominent members of the Nine Rivers Country Club.
Yep.
Nine Rivers is a big feature.
Yeah, Nine Rivers is a huge thing. Yeah. And you know what's kind of funny about it? It is a country club in Texas that is only for Asian Americans.
Yeah.
So it's not like a country club that is that is inclusive and everybody can join it. It's only exclusive to Asian Americans. So if you're not an affluent Asian American in Arlen, Texas, the country club's just not for you.
Ted,
so what it hints at is that what does Arlen have? A large Asian American population.
Yeah, very much so. Ted and Cindy tolerate the Wassonasongs, but in reality look down upon them. They joined the Episcopal Church despite being Buddhist because it was good for business. Ted is also blatantly hypocritical. He referred to Khan as a banana, an ethnic slur to identify an Asian American apparently lost in touch with their ethnic identity.
Yeah, I wasn't a big
with
fan.
Western society.
I wasn't a big fan of the Wassonasongs because as much as I'm not a huge fan of Khan either, really, but like I like Khan way more than I like the Wassonasongs because
the Wassonasongs are terrible. They're terrible.
They're just
people.
So terrible, and they're really, really terrible to the Wassonasongs, like how they treat Khan and stuff like that is just
says even though
crazy.
Ted possesses far greater degree of luxury commodities and lost most of his accent, and he did. I'm going to do my best Ted Wassonasong. Cod You are a member of Nine Rivers Country Club.
Yeah, because he sounds like he's holding his nose. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It says that he also helped pass a city ordinance banning the use of trans fats, only to be immediately found consuming the very foods he helped prohibit. Yeah, they're just terrible people. And you see more of Ted than you do Cindy. But Ted Wassonasong is a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
Okay, next, Octavio. Do you know who Octavio is?
Octavio is voiced by none other than
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. Not at first, but I think they had another similar situation with.
Well, at first he's Danny Trejo. Later, it's Mike Judge that does Octavio's voice.
Really?
Yeah. It says Octavio is a Hispanic quasi-mercenary who does various bizarre favors for Dale when paid enough money, such as breaking into the Hills home in the middle of the night to look for Dale's kidney. Earlier in the episode, Hank, who had power of attorney over Dale for 3 days while Dale was in the hospital to give his kidney to NHRA drag racer John Force, was helped Force to help Octavio bash his own car with rebar to try and claim motor accident insurance on a scheme he had cooked up with Dale.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's so much.
That is crazy.
On his chest is a large Rob Zombie tattoo, which he once tried to pass off as a tattoo of Jesus in order to join Luann's Bible study group because she was conducting lessons in her pool while wearing a two-piece bikini. His appearance was modeled after actor Danny Trejo, who actually voices Enrique on the show, and Octavio as well. His last appearance
so he does do Octavio, though.
Yep.
So he does Octavio and Enrique? I guess so. Well, Enrique was also voiced by another guy named Eloy Casados or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
His last appearance was a non-speaking cameo in Just Another Manic Con Day. So he's actually in one of those episodes that got released after the finale, those 4, because that is one of the con ones.
Yeah. That is a con episode.
I don't remember the guy real well. I do remember Danny Trejo's voice.
We haven't had an Octavio episode yet. That's why
not come to Octavio.
Yeah, we haven't hit him yet as a character.
All right, next on our list here is MF Thatherton, and MF stands for Milton Farnsworth.
Yeah, and he's
we have had this guy.
Yeah, we have, and he is actually voiced by Burt Reynolds. In the very first appearance of him, he's voiced by Burt Reynolds.
And Toby Huss later.
And Toby Huss does every other appearance after that. He literally only does one episode with Burt Reynolds.
MF is a former employee of Strickland Propane and another antagonist
who
what strikes out us, on his own and opens up with the crooked Thatherton Fuels Company across the street from Strickland.
Yeah, but you know what that tells us, though, right? That the character, because if you look at the character, he's a very Burt Reynolds.
Oh, he looks like Burt Reynolds.
Reynolds-esque kind of feel to him. So the character was probably created for Burt Reynolds to do the voice, but they loved it so much, and they had to bring him back for a different story or something, and they just added him in. I think that's how that ended up happening. I think that's probably what it was. That's the reason why they brought Toby Huss in to do the voice, is because he was like, they were like, because like you talk about secondary, we're talking about secondary characters kind of. Yeah, so
definitely.
Since he's one of those secondary characters that's been brought back, you know, because there's a lot of these voices and stuff like that. The character that they voice was created for that voice.
It just looks like them.
Yeah, it looks like them and stuff too.
Says he dresses like an old school rich cowboy with a 10-gallon hat and cowboy boots, an untrustworthy type. Thatherton is a sometime foil to Hank Hill and or Buck. His sins are similar to Buck Strickland's, which would be womanizing, gambling, and using people, but more pronounced. Thatherton openly considers customers as little more than moneymakers and hires centerfold models or Hooters girls to bait potential propane customers. I don't remember it being specifically Hooters girls.
Yeah, I don't either.
But he's right. I mean, he always has those bikini girls out in the thing doing a car wash or whatever. Hank, who also despises him, was forced to work for Thatherton for a week due to Buck losing at a game of cards. Whenever his name is mentioned, any of the Hills remark angrily, Thatherton. Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. I don't like the guy at all.
Jackass.
He's funny, but other than
First
that,
time we see him is in a bathroom.
Yeah, funny. Outside of that funny little interaction and stuff like that, he's not really like, you know, he's not the best guy at all. Not the best dude.
Here's a very short one. Reverend Thomason, voiced by Maurice LaMarche.
Who is Maurice LaMarche?
He is a minister at Arlen First Methodist Church. He was replaced by Reverend Stroup upon retiring to start an online ministry.
Oh yeah, Maurice LaMarche, by the way, is he's a Canadian voice actor, and
he's done a lot, right?
He voiced Brain in Animaniacs, as well as the spinoff Pinky and the Brain, and that's huge enough right there in its own. But he also played in Hey Arnold as Big Bob, and he also did a variety of characters in Futurama, and he voiced Egon Spangler in The Real Ghostbusters.
Spangler. I did not realize that he retired to start an online ministry.
Yeah, I didn't realize it either.
That's pretty funny. That leads us to Reverend Karen Stroup, voiced by the incomparable Mary Tyler Moore in 99, and then followed by Ashley Gardner in 2010. Ashley Gardner is the one we just had in our last episode.
Ashley the Gardner is the one that we just had in our last episode.
Not Ashley the Gardner.
Ashley Gardner, not the Gardner.
God,
sorry,
Ashley the Gardner.
I don't know if I did or didn't, but yeah, no, Ashley Gardner, not the Gardner. Well, I really want to know what the show is. I can't remember because there's somebody that is extremely affiliated with King of the Hill that creates their own show after. So like Ashley Gardner does
almost
Nancy
like a spinoff
Grable,
kind of thing, or what?
Yes, because the Megalomart pops up in their show. Let me just type it in real fast. King of the Hill spin off.
It's not that Bless the Hearts thing, is it?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's something the Hearts.
That wasn't good. It's not a good show.
It wasn't?
I tried to watch it.
Well, I know they have a reference. I know they refer.
I know it's a Mike Judge thing, but it wasn't good.
Okay, yeah. Emily Spivey was the name of the creator of that. But let me see what she did. I can't remember exactly.
I think she helped direct some of the episodes.
Yeah, I think she was an episode director or something like that. Something to do with the animation or something. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, she was doing some kind of. She also did Up All Night. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
Up All Night, the one with Gilbert Gottfried?
I guess so, yeah. Wow, she was a staff writer for Saturday Night Live for a decade.
Wow.
From 2001 to 2010.
You have a picture of her? What's her name?
Emily, Emily, Spivey, Spivey. So
Spivey? Either one? Huh. Okay, well, Reverend Stroup, again, Mary Tyler Moore, then Ashley Gardner. She was the first female minister of Arlen First Methodist Church. She is originally from Minnesota, but is assigned to Arlen after Reverend Thomason left to start an online ministry. She and Bill finally become a couple, yet he broke up with her when she moved in, and it felt like everything was moving too fast. The congregation also objected to the relationship. She didn't take it well, but there has been no talk about the relationship since that episode. She is one that kind of faded out.
Yeah.
You know? Like she was a big deal, and then she was like just not there.
Just not there at all. Yeah.
She made the Lutefisk, right?
She's in a few of those. Yeah, she's in a few episodes.
Do you remember Lutefisk?
Yeah, I remember. I don't know what Lutefisk is, but I do remember the episode.
So Lutefisk is like this fish. It's a Minnesota dish. It's like Nordic in origin, I believe. But it's made with bleach. There's bleach in it.
They put bleach in it?
Lutefisk.
Actually, she appears in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 episodes. So she actually pops up in 11 episodes.
That's way more than I thought.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I didn't think she appeared in that many, but you got to remember she does that one where Luann gets baptized or whatever, and you see Luann all skimpy and everything.
That's true.
And then Hank tries to stop the same thing. I think he stops Peggy from going in or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, next on our list is Jimmy Wichard.
Jimmy Wichard. He's one of my
Herman.
Okay, that's going to be one of my favorite
Dutch Jimmy's.
Dutch Jimmy's. Dutch Jimmy's. And then I like the episode where Bobby has to explain to his dad that he works for a guy who's Jimmy Wichard.
So Jimmy Wichard, it says here.
Oh wow. I googled Jimmy Wichard right now just to see what would pop up.
Yeah.
It says The Bible Cast with Pastor Jimmy Wichard on YouTube.
I don't think it's the same guy.
I don't think
it would be
is
great
either.
if it was, though. It'd be great if it's David Herman who voiced him being Jimmy Wichard.
That would be
has a
great.
Bible
Yeah, I don't think
cast.
it's him though. I don't think it's that guy.
Here's what it says in the entry. It says Jimmy is the town imbecile and the main antagonist in Life in the Fast Lane, Bobby's saga. He has had
that's the episode. Yeah.
he's had several jobs, including concession manager at the racetrack and outsider artist, whatever that means. Dale notes that he may have given himself brain damage from staring into the sun for too long.
Yeah.
Although he can't have been too bright to do it in the first place. He
Yeah,
says.
it says right here, although the exact quote is he couldn't have been too smart to do something like that in the first place. Kind of a chicken and egg thing.
Jimmy Wichard.
Yeah, but in a later episode, they also suggest that he's inbred, which is another possible explanation for his state. But
So great.
it says also he did take his GED test.
Yeah.
And on one occasion, he was there to scold Lucky for cheating, too. So Jimmy Wichard scolds him for cheating at one point.
I love how he talks in the third person, like all the time. He'll be like, "That's Jimmy's. Jimmy said that."
Jimmy
or
said
something.
that. And he actually appears quite a bit. But
Oh, yeah, he's in a lot.
But one of my favorite appearances when he was collecting cans with Cotton Hill. He was out there picking cans with Cotton. That was a good episode with him in it. Yeah, that's funny.
All right, our last one for this episode, and we'll have to revisit these because I've really enjoyed this. I like bringing up
8.
these.
He's in 8 episodes.
Wow,
So
that's not
Reverend
bad.
Stroup's in 11, and then he's in 8. There you
Okay.
go.
So the last one on our list for today is Chuck Mangione.
Oh, Chuck Mangione, and that one is. I mean,
Chuck is
that one. That story writes itself.
Chuck is so funny in this thing
The
because
flugelhorn player.
he is a jazz trumpeter and flugelhorn player, and his hit song "Feels So Good" is played frequently on the show. He shamelessly promotes Megalomart until he grows tired of going to every new store opening. He told Dale that he didn't read the contract properly, stating that Megalomart has opened 400 stores per year and it left him no time to tour, record, or be with his family.
Yeah.
This forced him to disappear, where Dale discovers he has become a hermit living within the Arlen Megalomart. I love that episode.
I do that too. Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid. He's living within the Arlen Megalomart in a toilet paper castle and stealing stocked items at night when the store is closed. When he tells Dale that he disappeared to stick it to the man, Dale decides to keep his secret, and Mangione goes on living in the store undetected.
Yeah, he chews through the security camera wires to stay unseen.
God, I love
Yeah.
the fact that
I like the
real
Chuck
person
Mangione.
becomes this person who like
Well, it
haunts
becomes a
the
part of a running
Megalomart.
gag.
It's
It
just
becomes
so
a part of a
good.
running gag that whenever he appears in the show, no matter what he's playing, he whatever he's playing, he just kind of floats
just
in to
love
feel
it.
so good every episode. He
I-
actually shows up in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, man, I miscounted.
Hi, I'm Chuck Mangione
Chuck
for
Mangione.
Megalomart Chocolates.
11. And he actually appears in Luann's Saga. And the last
yeah, man.
episode that he appears in is Pour Some Sugar on Khan,
Mm,
which would be first aired on March 30th, 2008.
wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Mangione is one of my favorite reoccurring characters on the show, and that's why he is on our cover art for this show.
Yeah, he is on every cover art that we do, right? Yeah.
It's like a stand-up from
I like Chuck
Megalomart. It's like a
Mangione.
cardboard cutout of
Yeah,
him
the cardboard
saying
cutout,
what the episode is.
Which I like that too. Chuck
It's just so
Mangione,
good.
yeah. You know,
So
I really
fun.
like that it's a musical person. Was he really that popular though? Like outside of King of the Hill? Did he have any kind of Did you know who he was outside of King of the Hill?
I did, and the reason I did is because my parents they had a pretty good vinyl collection,
Yeah.
and they had a Chuck Mangione record. I don't know which one they had,
Oh, cool.
but
Yeah, I
they had
didn't-
Chuck
I didn't know that.
Mangione. They had Herb.
Did they have a
Albert.
Jim Neighbors?
They did have a Jim Neighbors. They
Hey, for those of you who don't know who Jim Neighbors is, you need to go watch Andy Griffith.
Gomer Pyle.
Yeah, Gomer Pyle.
Gomer Pyle, USMC.
Pyle.
I'm Gomer Pyle. I'm gonna get under this bus.
I'm Gomer Pyle. Yeah, you know, as a kid, that's some of my favorite stuff is watching that crowd because it's so dumb.
So the
It's
reason
so dumb funny.
they had this pretty intense vinyl collection, but I was born in Taiwan, and so they were over.
So you're Taiwanese.
No, I'm not. I was born on
Okay.
U.S. soil.
Okay.
But they had this exclusive. They had this vinyl collection, but all of it was like bootlegs. So I remember all the Elvis albums they had. Like they would be on this clear, like red vinyl or clear purple vinyl
I know
or
what you're
whatever.
talking about.
Oh yeah,
I know exactly what
they
you're
were
talking about.
fantastic. I've still got a lot of that stuff.
Oh, you have some
Yeah.
of those albums?
I got a bunch of that
That's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. I actually have my mom. She was a big, huge Elvis fan when she was growing up, and I have all of the albums that she had when she was a teenager.
I was more of a fan of the little Elvis, not the big huge one.
The big, huge one. No, she was a big fan of the big Elvis.
Big Elvis, little Elvis. So I think this is kind of cool. Every once in a while, let's do this. We'll we'll go back to these reoccurring characters.
So now we have
we did John Redcorn.
We
did Ted and Cindy Wassonasong. We did Octavio. Thatherton. Reverend Thomason.
Reverend
Stroup. And Jimmy Wichard and Chuck Mangione.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll add those in with the fan fictions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
These are great.
We've got two things that we could continue with. So there you go. That's ideas.
Well, guys, join us again. We'll be around again on Monday for another episode. I believe the next one is Luann's Saga. Isn't that right?
Leanne's Saga.
Leanne?
I think that's what it said. I'm going to look just because I have to see what it says.
Anyway, we will be back with another riveting episode about an episode of King of the Hill with Bwaaa, a rewatch
podcast.
King of the Hill podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Also, you can check us out at BWAAAKOTH on all social media. Not all, but TikTok,
all
Instagram, Twitter. And
Truth
also,
Social.
we're trying to win. We really want to win this Waco Awards Podcast of the Year.
Yeah.
If we can't win, we'd at least like to get a nomination. So continue to vote for us.
If you guys could, look up the Waco Awards.
Yeah, Google
and go
Waco
vote
Awards.
For us. You can vote for us one today.
Yeah, and I'll post the
Just
link
type it
too on all the social media. You'll have it's already available now.
We're just
The
trying
link
to
is
get
there.
nominated right now.
Yeah, we're just trying to get nominated. So
Then we'll win those.
Hammer it out for us, and let's see what happens. And
Then
we really
win-
appreciate all of you so much.
We
And,
have it like this. So Waco Awards, then a Kids' Choice Award,
Okay.
then a Grammy,
A Pulitzer.
and then a Pulitzer. Yeah.
Okay.
Those last two could be in any order.
In any order.
Sure, Pulitzer or
And then after
Grammy
that, we're going for
or-
the EGOT, right? We're going to see if we
Sure.
can. We're just going all
Let's
the
go
way
for the
through it.
EGOT.
And we go for the
and
EGOT.
then we're both going to be Eagle Scouts.
Eagle
That'll be
Scouts.
good. We can do all that.
I think that would be like, if it was ever able to, if we're ever able to be the point to where we could go do that,
Be an Eagle
I think
Scout?
it would be funny to go just do not do all the stuff that you have to do to be an Eagle Scout, but just the ceremonial
Sure.
stuff, like the whatever, like the last
Honorary
few things.
Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, honorary Eagle Scouts from the Order
don't
of
know
the
that
Straight
they do
Arrow.
that,
We need to
but-
find out the Order of the Arrow. We need to contact the Order of the Arrow and see if we can get
that a
somebody
real thing?
there. Remember, we discussed it on the Order of the
Oh,
Straight Arrow.
really?
There is the Order of the Arrow.
Okay, cool. Let's call them.
Let's call them.
All right, guys. Join us again next time. You can always find us at roguemedianetwork.com and
Bwaaa.
we
Wimatanye. Yeah.
Wimatanye
Sorry, this is the
here
end, not the
too.
beginning. Wimatanye.
See ya.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.